It's campaign season.
Yes.
We've had all the candidates so far for the open Senate seat here in the state of Texas, except for one, and that changes today. And we welcome on to the program U.S. Senate candidate Craig James. Mr. James, welcome to Lubbock's First News.
Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, and let's talk about your campaign. Of course, a lot of people know who you are, and of course, you were with ESPN for such a long time. Why did you decide to leave the broadcast booth and jump into politics?
Well, I had a passion that has been planted inside of me for a few years now that I couldn't shake. I'd wake up in the middle of the night looking at the ceiling, thinking about our foreign policy, about our freedoms, and about our country. And I, like many people, I'm concerned about the direction of our country and where it's heading, and I wanted to get involved and be a part of it. And Chad, I'm very, very happy about the background that I've had as a football player and a broadcaster and a rancher and a real estate man. But now I'm starting to get out and share with folks what I believe about this country and where we're heading and what I want to do to help get it back on its rails.
Name some specifics. What would you like to see done?
First and foremost, we talk about all of these percentages of spending and this and that. Freedom is being encroached upon in this country by the federal government. I enjoy the freedom to go worship freely of any religion, any God that I want to. And so first and foremost, we have to protect our freedom. Outside of that, we need to put the federal government back into the box that it belongs in. I mean, this is a country that started with George Washington. It had 4 cabinets when it started. It had the State Department, we had the Treasury Department to pay for everything that they did, we had the Attorney General, and we had the Department of War. Now we've swollen up and we've got this monster-sized government that's not practical, and they're getting away from the Constitution. You guys know it, I know it, everybody knows it, but it's going to take someone with confidence and with a backbone to go up there and say, hey, enough is enough, man. People on Real Street are suffering because you guys are acting like you are.
Is it time to put in a balanced budget amendment?
Oh, man, it's long overdue. You and I have one in our households. So if I walked in the Senate chambers tomorrow and said, all right, everyone, let's pull out our checkbooks and let's look at them, I guarantee you, of those 100 senators, 100% of them have balanced their checkbooks, or they're trying to. So what makes them feel like it's okay for them to take our taxpayer dollars and go and spend above and beyond that and just go print more money to pay for their abuse? A balanced budget amendment is absolutely necessary.
How would you be able to go into the Senate and convince, because let's be honest, they don't have a budget. We're on 1,000 days plus, no budget right now. How would you be able to go in and get people to work together, or do you want people to work together to try to achieve a budget?
You've got to work together. And you know what, Chad? I for many years, when I got out of football, I tried to prove I was smarter than a football guy, Now I look back on it, and I'm grateful that I played in a locker room with guys who were black, brown, white, all kinds of different backgrounds, different interests, but we had a goal in mind, and that was to win, and a mission. They voted me a captain of their teams, which meant that they knew that I respected and loved them and was trying to do what was necessary to win and accomplish our goal. Those skills, the skills that I've developed in all of the different business interests that I've had in my life, and the ability to communicate those skills is what's needed in Washington. I'm from Real Street. I grew up an apartment boy. I ate the mayonnaise-only sandwiches. I read the eviction notices on the apartment door when I was in 3rd grade. I get it, man. I get it and understand what we're going through now and want to take that common sense approach to Washington as a fresh sense of reality for them.
What would you do, or what do you think the government should do to stop illegal immigration?
Well, first and foremost, I would say that we have to realize that these 12 million illegals are people. They're human beings. They're moms and their dads, their children, who came over here trying to give themselves a better chance in life. So let's humanize this, first of all. Then you have to look at it and say, okay, now you're here, but you're here illegally, and you've broken the law. You are breaking the law, okay? As a country, we have to look in the mirror and say, we have not defended our borders. We've allowed 12 million people to come over here. So we have to take a dose of reality ourselves. While Barack Obama and this congressional group up inside Washington have messed up our economy, no one or minimal are coming across. Let's go down there and secure the border with a combination of offense, surveillance, drones, and intellectual knowledge of how to sign up real easily to come into the United States and adhere to the Constitution. Those are the first few things that we need to get accomplished.
We're visiting with U.S. Senate candidate Craig James. And Craig, you know this. You're starting from behind here. Obviously, with David Dewhurst in the race and everyone else who announced before you, you were starting off behind all of those folks. How do you work yourself up? How do you work up in the polls, do you think?
Well, it's not like that I started in the fourth quarter here, and my analysis of this thing and why I didn't get in last year early, no one was paying attention to the Senate race. I bet most of the people in the state of Texas still don't even know who the candidates are that are running for the Senate race. So we are just now, as Texans, starting to lift our heads up and to focus and pay attention on this race. Yes, I started late, but I also have a very strong team, incredible team of campaigners who have done this before, who can get me in front of folks. I've been in Houston yesterday. I'm driving to Austin right now. I'll be back in Houston tomorrow. Then I go back up north to the Dallas area. So I'm getting around the state. I'm wearing out my pickup truck. I know that. Trying to get around to let people hear my message. And so far it's resonated, and things are going well.
You said you were traveling around the state. What about West Texas? Obviously, you're a controversial figure in West Texas. You look at the different polls that are out there. One poll puts you at 52% of voters have an unfavorable opinion of you in West Texas. Do you plan on campaigning in West Texas and in Lubbock?
Absolutely. I'm coming out to West Texas and Lubbock. I was on the radio in Midland yesterday. I'm with you today. I will physically be out there. I've been to Lubbock many times over the last 2 years. As Adam was finishing up his career, I came out there. I visited. I went to a game last season. I took off a Saturday so I could watch Tech play Kansas State. I've been there. I don't feel uncomfortable at all in Lubbock. My family loves going out west. I still have a son who's a junior in pre-med at Texas Tech right now. So it's not like I've been avoiding Tech. I've been out there. I enjoy Lubbock. I have owned ranch land. I get it. I understand the culture of West Texas. And so, yes, it's on my calendar. I'll be coming out there shortly. We're putting all of that together, and my travels to East Texas start next week. Then we get out to West Texas. So I look forward to going out there and sharing what I believe and who I am and answering questions that people have.
Why do you think that the unfavorable opinion is so high of you out here in this part of the state?
Well, for the last 2 years, there have been a lot of false statements made by the former coach about me. And it was all intentional, trying to distract and deflect from what he did and his actions. And because I haven't gotten the ditch and muddied around with all of the stuff, there are a lot of things out there that have been misleading, and people just don't understand the truth and the simplicity of what we did. I have said it from day one. We defended our son against an act that was unheard of. You can't bully people. You can't do what was done to Adam. It's indisputable what happened at the end of the control of Mike Leach to Adam. And when you do those kind of things, you've got to pay a price for it, and the consequences for your actions. Mike Leach is responsible for his own failures. He's got to own up to that at some point in his life and stop blaming everyone else for his failures and what happened to him.
Obviously, this is going to be a question that's going to be brought up when you come to Lubbock. I mean, the voters want to know about this. They want to talk to you about this, and you want to relate to them. How much can you talk about the Mike Leach situation? How much can you talk about the Texas Tech, with the litigation pending with the books? How much can you actually talk about it?
Well, I tried. It's not like I have a whole volume of days of things that happen. I mean, Adam had a concussion on one day. The next day he was ordered locked away in dark solitary confinement in a shed. Then the next practice he was ordered to be put into dark solitary confinement again. It doesn't matter where it was, a closet, a room, he was put away in an unheard of way. So I can't make up a whole lot of stories. What people need to understand, and I share this with you a lot more than I do other stations because you are in Lubbock. He just a few months earlier had recruited my other son, Andy James, to play at Texas Tech as a preferred walk-on. If Adam or I were anywhere near as bad as what he's saying, he would have never recruited my other son. Those are things that people need to understand of reality and the truth. Man, you think our family wanted to go through this? Absolutely not. So what all of this means, Chad, in the big picture of things is this. And there's some people who won't understand this. There's some people, if they wouldn't defend their own son, I don't want their vote. I don't want to run with those kind of people. Keep your vote. But anyone who understands right is right, wrong is wrong, and it's never right to do wrong, you can't bully people. Those are the people that I'm speaking to, and those are the ones that I want to really get around and help them to understand. I've got a backbone, and I will stand against evil every time.
There have been other allegations made against your character, in either by other books or whatever, like the fact or the allegation that you made phone calls from the booth of ESPN to the Texas Tech sideline. Did you ever do that? And does that call into account a character?
Hey, you know how many people, big high-profile people, have come and gone at ESPN because of poor judgment. Had I done any of, even remotely close to any of these things that have been alleged and said by Mike Leach, ESPN would have gotten rid of me a long time ago. That's just laughable. Absolutely insane.
Other parts of the state, of course, you're known in the Dallas area, SMU. Earlier in this past month, you admitted that you did take a small amount of gifts from boosters there. Can you tell us what you took, how much you took, and does that go again to character questions?
You know what, I'm really glad that people ask me this. It was an insignificant amount of money. I don't remember what it was. It was insignificant, and it was wrong. I was 18, 19 years old. Who wouldn't want a makeover and a redo when they were 18 years old on a lot of things in life? Chad, the other thing that's hard for people to grasp is that you can't put yourself back 30 years to understand what was going on in that era of the Southwest Conference. It was a crazy time. So, hey, I've admitted it, man. It was insignificant. It was not why I went to SMU. I went following my girlfriend since I've been 15 years old. She was a year ahead of me. I've been married to her for 29 years now, and I've raised 4 children with her. So it is what it is. It has nothing to do with my character. I feel very solid about that, and, I'm ready to move on.
Overall, do you think all of this flack with Texas Tech, with Mike Leach, do you think that will hurt you in West Texas?
Well, I know that people are wanting to absorb and find the truth, and there's some who just won't ever open their eyes to it. And I don't want to rehash it with you, but man, it's a simple matter that Mike Leach did what he did, and he's tried to place the blame on everyone else and not take ownership for his actions. And at some point, the wild goose chase is going to be over. He'll have to own up to the truth in the court of law, and they aren't looking for all of the gossips in the books and the things that are written.
Craig James, candidate for U.S. Senate. We appreciate your time this morning.
Hey, I appreciate your questions. I appreciate you having me, and I'll let you know when I'm coming out there.
Sounds great. We look forward to having you back on the program.
Okay, thanks, Chad.
Thank you. That's Craig James, candidate for U.S. Senate.